Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Great Light Rising. In this series, we talk about everything related to the spiritual awakening journey. Today, we are talking about the colors in your aura. That inevitably relates also to your chakras and whether or not they are in balance. Let's get right into it. The chakras each correspond to a certain color, and that color affects our aura in various ways. Most of us have one or two primary colors in our aura. Those colors reflect our basic personality, and when we are in a calm and grounded state, those are the colors that dominate the aura. Various emotional states, mental states, and physical states cause our chakras to go in and out of balance throughout the day and throughout various phases of our life. This will cause the colors in our aura to change. For example, if you are in a nervous state of mind, there will most likely be a lot of yellow, deep yellow, or orange yellow in your aura, representing nervous solar plexus energy. When a chakra is said to be too open, it is spinning too fast or too wide. When it is said to be closed, it is not spinning at all, spinning on an axis instead of evenly, in other words, wobbling, or spinning too slowly. If you are in fear, you may feel tingling in the root chakra, at the base of your spine, and your aura may be splashed with red or dark red to reflect your fear. If you are in a state of high concentration and you are focused on a problem mentally or feeling inspired, maybe doing some creative writing, playing a musical instrument, or creating art of any kind, your third eye may be wide open, and you may have a lot of blue and purple in your aura, reflecting the colors of the throat, expression, and third eye, inspiration. When you are in a spiritual state of mind, meditating, or if you are deeply religious and in a state of prayer, you may have the colors in your aura that reflect the higher frequencies, such as purple, lavender, pink, and white. Sometimes these colors will blend. A state of high concentration, third eye focus, with a worried sensation, solar plexus, will produce a combination of purple and yellow, which may be splashes of each color, or a combination of those colors which looks like someone was messing with a paint palette in your aura. When you feel yourself change state, such as when you experience a sudden stress trigger, try and notice where in your body you feel that, because it will tell you what chakra just wobbled or moved out of balance. Worry and stress, particularly about family, often cause the sacral chakra to wobble, whereas standing at a great height and looking down into a steep ravine, it may cause the root chakra to wobble, safety and fear. Feeling abandoned, left out, ostracized, or unloved will cause a sensation in the heart, which may manifest as palpitations or heartburn in the physical body. A panic attack may affect both the root and solar plexus, as well as the diaphragm chakra, located between the heart and solar plexus. Symptoms of hyperventilation during such an attack are the result of conscious or unconscious feelings of frustration, which affects the diaphragm and breathing rhythm. The root is associated with fear, and the solar plexus with feeling like everything just spiraled out of control. To calm an attack of high anxiety, visualize bringing these chakras back into balance while focusing on steady breathing. Becoming aware of your energetic state and correcting chakra imbalances can help you to avoid physical health issues, since the energy state directly affects the physical state. We are going to talk about each of the primary aura colors and what those colors tell us about our personality. If you recognize your personality type in one or more of the colors, then the chances are high that is your aura color. Some people have two colors, one representing their yin energy, their hidden or inner state, and one representing their yang energy, their outer personality, how other people perceive them. While people who are emotionally stable, consistent, and grounded may only have one color, neither is better or worse. It's just a reflection of how you present yourself to the world versus how you carry your inner light. Imbalances show up as splashes of color, and negative energy shows up as darker energy, mixed colors, or shadowy energy. Highly spiritual energy is white. White represents the integration of all the colors, meaning you have achieved a high level of integration of all aspects of yourself, including your shadow and harmonious yin-yang balance. Other colors are typically blends of the primary seven or may represent different energies altogether. When a chakra is said to be too open, it is spinning too fast or too wide. When it is said to be closed, it is spinning too slowly, spinning on an axis, wobbling, or not spinning at all. Most people have one or two dominant colors in their aura, but everyone can have color changes according to their moods and emotions that fluctuate throughout the day and through different phases in their life. So, for example, if you usually have a yellow aura, but today there are splashes of red in your aura, then those splashes of red are telling you something about your state of mind. The colors that show up reflect the values of a particular chakra. So fear, which is root chakra energy, can show up as red or dark red. Let's take a look at each of the chakras and their colors in detail. We will look at each color in both ways. First, we'll look at what it means to have the color dominate the aura. That's your personality type. And then we'll look at the states that might be causing that particular chakra to be too closed or too open. That's when its color shows up to reflect your emotional state. Red auras. If you have a red aura, your root chakra dominates. People with a red aura love to be physically active and may be restless or athletic. They are ambitious and driven and like to focus on the material and practical side of life. Children's auras are often red, and children and adults with ADHD often have bright red auras, reflecting a combination of red and orange colors. People with red auras often make good salespeople because they are not only goal-oriented, but actually good at meeting goals. They are not spiritual people and may not believe in God or an afterlife. Although this is not true for everyone who has a red aura, it is pretty common. Life events such as moving, traveling, changing your job, losing your income, or experiencing a difficult health situation will unsettle the root chakra and may impact other chakras too. When this happens, red may show up in your aura, even if you do not normally have a red aura. When your aura is not normally red, but is showing splashes of red, then your root chakra is either too open or too closed. When the root chakra is too open, you might appear overly rigid, materialistic, controlling, fearful of change, or obsessed with security and survival. When it is too closed, you might be experiencing anxiety or dissociation. You may be feeling unstable or experiencing chronic fear, financial difficulties, or health difficulties. Often, a person who is very afraid, especially when it deals with a life or death situation, may have a darkness to the aura, a dark red ring around the aura, or even flashes of black in the aura. Your fear may be related to your own safety or someone close to you. When the root chakra remains in balance, especially in the face of difficulty, you appear calm, present, secure, and resilient. You are grounded in your body and connected to the physical world. Emotionally, you are trusting in the flow of life and have a knowing that everything will turn out all right. If your root has moved out of balance, you can realign the root chakra by shifting your perspective. Stop living as though things are bound to go wrong. Trust that you can meet life's challenges moment by moment, rather than trying to control every outcome. Reconnect with your body. Establish a routine that feels comfortable to you. Spend time in nature and actively seek out grounding routines, such as taking your morning coffee outside and connecting with the birds and the trees. Orange auras. If you have an orange aura, your sacral energy dominates. You are independent and crave freedom. You don't like to be boxed in, pigeonholed, or told what to do. You may have a high libido, or you may channel your sexual energy into creative art, music, or psychic awareness. People with orange auras are creative, expressive, and sensual. The sacral chakra is connected with the pineal gland, related to intuition and inspiration. This makes your creative expression feel inspired, and you probably have a vivid imagination too. On the other hand, you can be a worrier, and often feel guilty or ashamed for reasons that you really don't need to. Especially if your guilt or shame relates to things that happened to you in your childhood when your parents or family should have been protecting you, but may have left you feeling vulnerable. Family issues that cause us stress and worry, certain types of fear, and feelings of guilt or humiliation move our sacral chakra out of balance. For women, this can lead to menstrual issues and female health issues related to the uterus or ovaries. For men, this can lead to feelings of impotence, literally or figuratively, feeling powerless to rise to a challenge. For both men and women, it can lead to feeling stifled or stuck, unimaginative and lacking inspiration. When your sacral chakra is too open, you might be experiencing emotional overwhelm, needing to lean on someone else, binging on food, drugs, or alcohol, or feeling like your emotional and sexual boundaries are blurred and unclear. When your sacral chakra is too closed, you may be feeling emotionally numb or guilty for indulging yourself or for having fun. You may experience a lack of creativity or feelings of repression. You may have difficulty connecting emotionally with those who love you. A person with a balanced sacral chakra will feel emotionally fluid, creative, passionate, connected, and able to both feel and regulate their emotions. They will not express deep guilt, humiliation, or regret. They don't depend on others to validate them. You can realign your sacral chakra by allowing your feelings to flow through you without shutting them out, but without becoming consumed by them. We are all entitled to feel pleasure. It is not something we have to earn through suffering. You can reignite your creativity by taking up a hobby that gives you joy and gives an outlet to your creative expression, such as photography, painting, playing or creating music, designing jewelry, and so on. Keeping it as a hobby, rather than trying to turn it into a money-making scheme, will feed your creative expression without adding any pressure to perform. Yellow auras. If you have a yellow aura, your solar plexus dominates. This person is happy, joyful, fun to be around, and has a great sense of humor. They are intellectual, curious, and interested in many subjects. They may suffer from being over-analytical. People with yellow auras are great overthinkers. An imbalanced yellow dominant energy may be a narcissist, seeking to control people around them rather than simply allowing people to do their own thing. But many yellow auras are just happy people. When our solar plexus moves out of balance, it is a certain kind of stress that is weighing on our mind. Typically, this stress relates to our personal boundaries being violated, such as when we are being coerced or bullied to do things we don't want to do, or when our personal plan seems to go awry due to events beyond our control. Children who grow up with strict or controlling parents often have weak solar plexus energy and experience a low level of confidence in themselves, experiencing great anxiety, which is often accompanied by digestive problems. Solar plexus stress can also manifest when we are rushing around, trying to do too many things at once, or highly focused on a situation that requires a lot of organization and planning. When your solar plexus is too open, you may be exhibiting controlling behavior or aggression. You may be stifling yourself with perfectionism, or stifling someone else with your demands. You may find it difficult to relax, or be too highly focused on achieving a goal, which may or may not be worth the stress. Your personal boundaries become blurred. When your solar plexus is too closed, you may be suffering from a loss of confidence, or feeling that your power has been taken from you. You may be feeling victimized or bullied. When your solar plexus is in balance, you feel confident, respected, and empowered. You set healthy boundaries and maintain them with poise. You don't need validation from others, and you trust your inherent value. You can bring your solar plexus back into balance by shifting your perspective on control. You do not have to control everything around you. Sometimes, you have an outdoor picnic planned, and then it rains. Navigating around life's obstacles means flowing with what comes up. Okay, so you are not meant to have the picnic outdoors that day. Have a plan B. Also, consider your boundaries. Healthy boundaries are not selfish. They are necessary for good health. Don't feel selfish maintaining your personal boundaries, and don't worry what other people think of you. They will respect you more for having boundaries than for letting them push you around. Say no when you mean no. Find your own inherent worth, and don't depend on validation from others, including your parents and your children. Green auras. If you have a green aura, your heart center dominates. The heart is the middle chakra and can be thought of as a bridge between the lower three chakras, representing the physical self, and the upper three chakras, representing the spiritual self. It represents both physical and spiritual bodies, and therefore is highly susceptible to the emotional states of empathy and compassion. People with a green aura are generous and loving, close to family, and enjoy spending time in nature. They are usually highly disciplined, sometimes to their own detriment, making life a set of rigid rules instead of a spontaneous response to events, and can be judgmental of others, especially people who show a lack of personal discipline. On the other hand, people with green auras have a tendency to put everyone else before themselves, depleting their energy and leading to compassion burnout. When the heart chakra is out of balance, you may suffer from low self-esteem. This is different from the self-confidence energy of the solar plexus. Self-confidence is about knowing you can get something done, that you are good at your job, or that you can make things happen. Self-esteem is more about how you see yourself. You can be good at your job, which is solar plexus energy, but still feel insecure or unworthy around other people. This is low heart chakra energy. When the heart chakra is too open, you are giving away all your love to others and losing yourself in self-sacrifice. Or you may have someone in your life who is pulling on your heart and causing you to feel deep compassion. It's time to pull back and nurture your own spirit. When the heart chakra is too closed, you may have shut down due to grief. You may be carrying bitterness and resentment, or guarding your heart closely. Some people call this a heart wall, and energetically, it sometimes shows up as resistance in the energy field over the heart chakra. A balanced heart chakra indicates that you are compassionate and open-hearted, able to love and give in a healthy way without depleting your own energy. That means you set healthy boundaries and don't feel guilty when you have to stop doing for others because you need to take care of your own needs. It's not necessary to carry another person's pain. You can bring your heart chakra back into balance when you realize that service to others starts with service to self. If you have not filled your own cup, then you have nothing to give, and all you can offer is an empty heart. Whether you are raising children, or taking care of aging parents, or simply caring for a spouse, you are not required to lose yourself in that care. It's not selfish to take time for yourself so you can recharge and recuperate. You can show compassion without carrying another person's pain. When you carry pain for someone else, now there are two people in pain instead of one. Ask yourself, is that the energy you wish to put into the world? Or would you rather spread joy and love? Blue auras. If you have a predominantly blue aura, your throat chakra dominates. A person with a blue aura is calm and highly expressive. They are good communicators and make patient teachers or mentors. They are often spiritual people or healers, or they may have careers that require good communication skills, from politicians to journalists, from fiction writers or artists. They may have a tendency to talk too much or be a bit too candid. If they are also heart-centered, their aura may be more aqua or turquoise, or a combination of blue and green. And if they are more spiritually inclined, their aura may be darker blue, leaning towards indigo or deep purple. When your throat chakra is out of balance, this indicates some sort of suppression. Perhaps you want to say something, but don't feel like you can, or perhaps you are keeping a secret that can't be told. Alternatively, you may be behaving in a way that is expected or demanded of you rather than becoming who you really want to be, the most authentic expression of yourself. When your throat chakra is too open, you may be talking too much, dominating the conversation, gossiping, or speaking impulsively or harshly. When it is too closed, You may be afraid to speak up, afraid to be your true self. You may feel like you are not being heard or not being understood. Long-term suppression of the throat chakra leads to thyroid issues. Your thyroid gland is in your throat. Someone with a balanced throat chakra can speak their truth clearly and confidently. But they also practice wisdom, knowing when to speak and when to hold their peace. They listen patiently to others without judgment because they understand that other people also need to speak their truth safely and without suppression. To bring the throat chakra into balance, remember that your voice matters, but not every thought needs to be spoken. Question whether you are doing something because you have been told to, and whether it still makes sense to you. Live authentically, without forcing your truth on others. Remember that it is not important what others think of you, but it is important that you live life on your own terms, even when others disagree. Indigo or purple auras. If you have an indigo or purple aura, your third eye dominates. This person may be spiritual or religious, inspired or psychic. They may be wise beyond their years and operate purely from intuition rather than logic. They may just know things or just feel things without understanding why or where those feelings come from. But they trust their inner knowing nonetheless. They may spend a lot of time in their head, in meditation, in prayer, or in a fantasy world, and may be ungrounded much of the time. Sometimes, people in this color space have trouble navigating the practical aspects of life, and may be jobless, live with their parents, or have difficulty anchoring in the material world. When the third eye chakra is too open, you may be living in a fantasy, escaping into your imagination, or dealing with paranoia. You may be in denial, or feeling disillusioned. When the third eye chakra is too closed, you may feel stuck, unable to imagine or visualize, and have difficulty seeing the big picture. You might be feeling stifled or repressed. I want to just mention here that having a third eye chakra that is out of balance is not the same as when we talk about having a closed third eye. You can have an open third eye, and your third eye chakra may still move in and out of balance at times. The chakras are dynamic and can be thrown off balance or bring themselves completely back into balance as your moods and emotions shift and change throughout the day. When we talk about having a closed third eye or opening the third eye, we are referring to the pineal gland, which is connected to the third eye chakra, but is something physical, not energetic. When the third eye is open, the pineal gland is psychically receptive. You are open to your intuitive guidance, open to inspiration, have an active imagination, and may be psychically tuned in to other dimensions of reality. When the third eye is closed, the crystals in the physical pineal gland are calcified. That person is usually closed-minded and unable to accept any truth but the one they have been raised to believe. They may be dogmatic and zealous in their religion, or agnostic or atheist, but they are most likely not describing themselves as spiritual or intuitive. The third eye opens up or wakes up when an individual experiences a Kundalini awakening. I did a previous episode about the Kundalini awakening, so I won't cover that here. But I just wanted to make the distinction between a third eye chakra that is in or out of balance and a person who has opened their third eye, which is different. A person can be very psychically tuned in, spiritual and intuitive, but their third eye chakra can still be knocked off balance from time to time. They can still go through periods of feeling stuck, lacking inspiration, and second-guessing their intuitive guidance. In order to bring the third eye into balance, get plenty of rest so that you remain mentally clear. Connect to your inner wisdom through dreams, meditation, or long walks in nature, and trust that what comes through your inner guidance is meant for you. Remain open to new ideas, even if you weren't looking to make changes in your life. Lavender, pink, or purple auras. If your aura is in the purple, lavender, or pink range, your crown chakra dominates. You are very spiritual. You are tuned in to higher frequencies as well as the collective consciousness. Chances are you are highly empathic and have already learned to manage that empathy so that it doesn't affect your own health. You are well balanced, emotionally stable, and have a great deal of spiritual wisdom. You trust in the path of destiny, and you have learned to spot when spirit is guiding you in a different direction. You may be idealistic, but you also believe we can manifest our ideals, especially when we work together. When the crown chakra is too open, you may be too gullible, open to deception, letting all ideas in and open to everything. When the crown chakra is too closed, you may be dissociating from the group or from reality. You are in hermit mode, behind closed doors, nursing your wounded soul. A balanced crown chakra feels spiritually connected, peaceful, and integrated. Even if you feel different from most people, you do not feel disconnected and have a sense of community among like-minded people. Those like-minded people may be few and far between, but the soul with a balanced crown chakra knows how to connect with them in more ways than just the physical. To bring your crown chakra back into balance, remind yourself that it's okay to spend time in withdrawal or introspection, but human connection is important to our mental and physical well-being. Exercise compassion and discernment when seeking connections with those around you, but make an effort to walk among people who have not yet learned to see the world in all the colors that you do. You incarnated in order to have a physical experience. While it is easier to live in your own inner world, it is necessary for survival to embrace the outer, physical world. You don't have to fit in, but life is more comfortable if you have the means to put a roof over your head and food on the table. Spend time in nature and practice grounding techniques. White auras. White may be associated with the crown chakra. It is a highly spiritual color because it is the integration of all the colors. A person with a white aura may be tuned in closely with spiritual guidance. They may in fact be aware of consciously working with angels and guides. They are balanced and well-adjusted, kind and loving. It is quite unusual but not impossible to meet someone whose aura is completely white, but those who can see or photograph auras may notice that white appears often in the aura of people whose frequency is in the range of the throat, third eye, and crown chakras. Darker colors in the aura reflect negative energy, which might be depressed, sick, psychotic, or evil. In most people, it represents challenges and worries they are dealing with. Did you find your aura color? Remember, you may have more than one color that dominates. I have always thought that if we could all see auras, we would be much kinder to each other. If someone who is usually a happy and balanced yellow aura suddenly shows up with red in their aura, you would know they are dealing with a shock. And if they treat you badly that day or snap at you irritably, you would know that they are having a really bad day and you wouldn't take it personally. Instead, you might try to be a friend that day and listen if they want to talk, or bring them a cup of coffee or tea for no reason. So next time you realize someone is in a bad mood and you want to steer clear of them, consider what might be happening in their aura and see if there is another way to behave around them. Well, that's all I have for you in this episode. Stay well, my friend, and walk in the light. Thank you for watching or listening, and I will talk to you in the next one.